Let's bring in a member of the Oversight Committee now. Democratic Congressman Stephen Lynch of Massachusetts joins us. Congressman, thanks for being here. What are staffers seeing this morning from the Epstein estate? And based on what was already turned over, what do you think is most important for your investigation?
Well, we want the full files, all the documents. We think the evidence should guide us. And so just like the birthday book that was as your reporters have indicated, was bound 20 years ago, we think that there's a story to tell here, and there are pieces of evidence that will inform us, and I think as well inform the American public as to whether Congress is sincerely and genuinely doing its job to get justice for the women that were abused in this case.
I want to play some video we just got in showing those staff members heading into this law office where they are going to be meeting with members of the Epstein estate, officials and lawyers, to look at these documents. So we know they've arrived. Meantime, President Trump says the birthday letter isn't real. So do many of your GOP colleagues. And now the White House says that they would support bringing in a handwriting expert to analyze the apparent Trump's signature. Is that a serious proposal in your view?
I think they'll try whatever they can do to deflect this investigation. It certainly looks very, very similar. And again, these books were bound 20 years ago. So, and we have public statements by President Trump that they were friends and that, he was a great guy and all these are all connections between President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And we have more and more evidence coming out about that relationship. So that's very important, and we want to get to the bottom of this.
One Republican who's not buying the president's story is Congressman Thomas Massie. Here's what he said about the birthday letter.
I'm not a forensic expert, but it looks like his signature.
The White House has denied that. They've said that it's not his. The whole thing is a hoax. I mean, are they hurting their own case here?
It's a hoax, 10, 20 years in the making, if the letter is a hoax, it seems like. Hopefully they could do some kind of forensics on it and figure that out so we don't have to debate the knowable. But I think it's a distraction, really, from what Ro Khanna and I are trying to accomplish.
So he points out how absurd the hoax argument seems related to the letter. I mean, if these Republicans all believe it's a fake, why isn't someone investigating the alleged forgery then? Isn't that a serious matter, trying to frame or impersonate the president like this?
You would think so, but there's nothing there for them to investigate. I mean, the custody of the letter in itself, gives validity to that piece of evidence. So we'll just keep digging. And I really do give great credit to Mr. Massie and to Mr. Khanna and their effort on the discharge petition. We still have several Republican members who voted for the subpoena of those documents who have yet to sign the discharge petition. So as Jake and others have pointed out, we're getting close to that 218.
Is the discharge petition even necessary, though, given how your oversight investigation is proceeding?
We want everything. We don't want to drip, drip, drip. Remember, the Republican leadership, Mr. Johnson, especially Speaker Johnson, have come kicking and screaming. They did not want to bring in, Alex Acosta, the U.S. attorney and Trump labor secretary, even though he was the one that gave the sweetheart deal to Epstein and his co-conspirators down in Florida so many years ago. So they don't want this to happen. They want to deflect it. That's why they're bringing in a bunch of other people for depositions that have nothing to do with this. They want to eat up the clock, and they're hoping that they can deflect the attention of the American people. But there's quite a segment of Trump's base that wants to get to the bottom of this as well. And there are a handful of Republican members like Mr. Massie who also, I think, are generally committed to getting justice for these women.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace also already throwing their weight behind that discharge petition. Democratic Congressman Stephen Lynch, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for being with us.